G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 20 of my cold dual-wielding Reaper playthrough. And before we get into this, I do have to point out that we are now up to Grim Dawn version 1.2.1. The patch went live overnight for me, and there's been a few changes to the character. I did have a quick look through. I don't think any of the skill points are going to change all that much. Most of the skill point changes on various items are going to be affecting finished, and I'm doing air quotes there, finished builds. So I'm not too worried about that. One thing that did change pretty heavily, though, is physical resistance is now on the front page, and stun has replaced it on the back page, which is fine. I remember this number being a lot bigger last episode, though, and that's for a reason. Patch 1.2.1 changed a lot about how the game does physical damage to the player, and how you're able to get physical resistance. So, physical resistance used to be available on a whole bunch of affixes on rare items. It used to be more available. For example, here on the Tortoise, this used to have physical resistance. It now has armor percentage. There's probably one like that here. Nope, this still has physical resistance. This one also still has phys res. Wherever you're getting it from, though, your physical resistance is going to be considerably lower. For example, this, I'm pretty sure this was 10% for 8 points before. It's now 6 for 5 points. So physical resistance is a lot less available. But they did rebalance the monsters to do a lot less damage. Physical damage, that is. And so, for most of the characters I've tested, and I've gone through about half of my stable of level 100 characters now, almost all of them feel a lot tankier than they used to, especially the ones that were not able to get high amounts of physical resistance. So, for example, the Cold Force Wave Battle Mage that I made as basically a meme, and I'll be honest, it's still kind of basically a meme. It was very high armor, but very low physical resistance, and that thing is an absolute brick now. It's got coming close to 5,000 armor on that character, and nothing hurts it. Whereas something like my my Blood Knight, Death Knight, that was high in physical resistance, it had 80%. I think it was 80% just all the time, and maybe you needed a proc to get to 80%, but it definitely had 80% physical resistance. But kind of lowish armor, sort of 2k, 2.2k, something like that. That thing feels incredibly squishy now because it has very low armor, and all of its physical resistance is just gone. So a lot of builds that were relying on high physical resistance to cover for the fact that they had no armor, those builds are going to feel very, very squishy now. Whereas builds like a lot of casters who maybe weren't able to get high physical resistance, those builds are going to feel a lot better. There's also been a lot of skill point changes. There's been a lot of scaling changes. Let me just pull up the actual patch notes. I'll have a quick look at the Nightblade stuff. I don't remember there being anything too crazy about this build. Let me just double check that. Patch version 1.2.1. Let's scroll up to the index, and let's hit Nightblade. Okay, so Anatomy of Murder, that's going to be one of these, that one there. Increase the dot duration, we're not using that. Blade Spirit got more damage scaling. And if you can get it to rank 16 now, you'll get a third one. And if you can get it to 24, you'll actually get a fourth Blade Spirit, which is pretty cool. Dual blades here, increase the piercing damage scaling, reduced physical resistance scaling to 10% by 16 points, and 13% by 26 points. So this is considerably less physical resistance, as I was saying. Phantasmal Armor actually got increased armor scaling, although it looks like a lot of that increase is going to be in the ultimate ranks. So if you take this to 22 out of 12, you're going to be adding, 402 max armor. I think this was 30 or 40 something armor before the patch, and now it's 56, so it's probably a minor buff there. Pneumatic Burst. I don't remember that having piercing damage on it before. It says it's added pierce damage scaling, and reduced the regeneration. Now, a lot of other things also had regen scaling changed, so that's not really too surprising. Shadow Dance reduced defensive ability scaling, and nothing else, so we just lost some defensive ability. That's fine. I'm still dodging 16.4% of all attacks from Wendigo Marrow Eaters, and, I mean, now it's 20... Yeah, it's fine. Shadow Strike got additional damage, which I don't really care. I'm not using it as a damaging attack. It's a movement skill, so great. Don't really mind. Nidala's Justifiable Ends is this one? Yep. Increase the crit damage percent scaling. Again, a lot of that looks like it's happening in the ultimate ranks, so past 12 out of 12 points. And then Nightfall here. Increased damage and lifesteal on this. So, pretty much buffs there. If we scroll down to the Necromancer page here, Decay, well, we're not using Decay, so I don't care. Decomposition, I'm not sure where that is, but I know I'm not using it. There it is there. Not using that, don't care. Harbinger of Souls, increased attack damage converted to health, scaling with rank to 12% by rank. To 12%? That looks like a 14 to me. Anyway. That'll apparently go up to 20% by max ultimate rank, so maybe that's going to be 22. Also increase the vitality decay duration scaling. Yeah, cool, more damage. Ill Omen, increased damage reduction scaling at ultimate ranks, so this now goes up to 35%. So it looks like each additional point above 10 here is going to give you 1%. Kind of happy with 25. It's still quite good. Master of Death we're not using. Skeletons we're not using. Will of the Crypt we're not using. Reap Spirit we're not using. Siphon Souls we're not using. Blood Boil we're not using. Spectral Binding. Okay, I think this was just extra health. Yeah, increase health scaling to 1,450 by rank 12, which is what we have. And yes, it is indeed what we have. And that goes up to 3,500 at 22 points. That's a huge chunk of health. And there's also some increase on the Aether damage. Spectral Wrath. Increase the Aether resist reduction scaling. So this now goes up to minus 40%. That's going to be a huge buff for a couple of my other builds. And completely irrelevant for this one. Blight Fiend we're not using. Unstable Anomaly we're not using. Rotting Fumes and Blight Burst we're not using. So that's kind of the extent of the class changes. I'm not going to go through all of the devotion changes. Suffice it to say, we've had a lot of physical resistance replaced with armor on a lot of different nodes. It looks kind of like only one of those will affect us. I think this one maybe had some before, but I'm not confident on that. Everything else should be more or less the same. I'm not going to really go over it too much more at this point. Right, let's go stab some things. Now, between episodes, and normally I start with this, but anyway, between episodes, I went and did some more farming. One thing to note is I did indeed get the blueprint for the Bloodied Crystal while I was doing this, and I will be, maybe not immediately, but I will be crafting 2 of these and chucking them onto these rings, because the Vengeful Wraith is, well, here's another one of the changes. If you look at Vengeful Wraith there, it just tells you it's a component. What does it do? Don't know, doesn't say. You actually have to hold control to get the old setup back. The other thing to note, and let me just... we're not going here for any particular reason, it's just I want to kill stuff and pick up some loot. So we're going to kill a few of these just to get some loot on the go. Why do I feel so slow? Oh, I know why, because this character actually is slow, and I've been playing other characters with capped run speed. Yes, okay. This is probably enough, but you know what? I like Aether Crystals, so we're going to kill a few more of these crystals, and maybe get a few other little drops come up as well. So, like I've said many times before, you can never have enough Aether Crystals, but the purpose of this little section here is to show off one of the other 2 changes that has happened, which I'm actually going to turn off because it annoys me. Both of these changes are things that I'm going to turn off because they annoy me. But, you know, whatever you prefer, you go ahead and do that. Where's the other Mesmer? There he is. There's actually been 3 major changes here that I want to talk about, so let's just pick this up just for the sake of having something in my inventory. So when I open my inventory here in a second, what you're going to see is a bunch of glowing items. So, oh wait. So you see how these all kind of pulsing, glowing, and then I mouse over them and they stop doing that. That is one of the changes that's happened in the last patch. The other one is, for example, on this sword. You'll see the Shard of Barrownath, it's collapsed. The Winterbloom Powder, it's collapsed. You have to hold control to actually see what it does. I don't like that, but if you do like that, then great, smaller icons here. So what I'm actually going to do is come here to the Options menu, and on this interface tab here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just enable detailed item tooltips. So that's going to turn off the collapsing on the item tooltips. So I actually want to see the numbers. So I'm going to turn this one back on. And then the new item highlight here, I'm going to turn that off because it drives me absolutely nuts. And I found myself having to mouse over every single item through my entire inventory just to stop the glow because it bothers me so much. So I'm going to turn that one off, and then there was another one that I was messing with earlier. I don't know, that'll do. So I'm going back to the old system where it's going to show me all that information by default, and that's going to be much more useful for me. Before I, hang on, no, options, interface, detailed item tooltips, I'm going to turn this back off for a second. Because, let's go, was it this one? Yes. So I went and killed Janaxia a bunch more times, and I got this to drop. And without holding control, this now gives you the old effect of disabling components and stuff. So this shows plus 586 DPS if equipped in my main hand. That's a lie, but, you know, it shows it. And then if I hold control, it's going to go back to, you know, factoring in the cold stone, factoring in the Winterbloom powder, all that sort of stuff. So holding control on that now does the reverse. So I didn't want to do that. I am going to turn that option off though because I'm used to the old system and I prefer the old system. So new item highlight I have turned off. Detailed item tooltips I'm turning back on. This will be off by default. Feel free to change it or not as you wish. So that's one of the changes. Also Bloodied Crystal. The other change, and this one should be fun. While I was farming Janaxia, I did hit Nemesis with the beasts, and one of the new changes is to do with how Nemesis spawn, and yeah, it's it's a little scary. Let's actually go for a quick run through the Gloomwald. Now, I'm not confident that I can beat Chupacabra if he spawns, but I'm going to give him a shot. Now, I played with some of my other level 100 characters, and it seemed like if you did the Aether Crystal run that I just did, and then also ran up to Krieg, I got Valderan to spawn 3 out of the 4 times I did that. This run through the Gloomwald, my usual farming route just in the Gloomwald, I got Chupacabra to spawn 2 out of the 5 times I did that, so there's a decent chance he's going to spawn. The 2 times he did spawn, I ran up here, I checked for the treasure trove, I ran over here, I did the totem. I can't remember if it was there the times that he spawned, but if the totem was here, I would have done it, and if it's not here, then obviously it's kind of hard to do the totem. So I'm just going to do this, and basically how it works is you kill monsters of that Nemesis's kind of group, and then the Nemesis has a chance to spawn. Now, I'm not sure if it's based on how many you kill, how fast you kill them, anything like that. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but both times I had Chupacabra spawn, it was inside the stairs down here, after I had killed a bunch of beasts outside, and also, obviously, more of them inside. So the more beast-type enemies you kill, the more chance there is that you're going to get the Nemesis spawn. And when I was deliberately trying to spawn them, it was actually fairly reliable to spawn them within maybe a minute or two of just murdering the types of enemies that would spawn them. So, for example, Kuba spawned 2 times out of 5 by the time I got to, well, actually on what's that guy's name? Marrow something. No, Avarice Marrow. By the time I got to her platform, I had a Chupacabra spawn 2 out of the 5 times I did it. The other 3 out of 5 times I ran this run, Kuba didn't spawn. So, as I said, I'm not sure if it's to do with how fast you kill, how many you kill, random chance on every single kill. I'm not exactly sure. But let's see if we can get them to spawn. I did also have him spawn 1 time in Janaxia's den, and I ran away like a coward. Because I'm not confident I can kill him on this character. But we will see, actually, hang on. You are a healer, you've got to go. You are also a healer, you've got to go, and I'm going to kill the plants as well. Because, you know, plants. Okay, Avarice goes down. Grab the loot, we'll be on our way. Now, these a lot of undead / human types in this area. So we'll head back outside and kill some more beasts. And I fully expect that Kuba will spawn before I'm finished running through this area. That's not to say that it absolutely will, because again, I don't exactly know how it's going to work. Here's Pakla though. So Pakla's dead. When the Nemesis do spawn, you get a big message here. It probably could do with being in a different color. The white does blend in, but you also get a really big kind of bong noise. It's hard to miss. Let's just put it that way. These are all plants. These are not beasts. I don't have enough dynamite. Alright, we're going to keep going for the sake of dynamite, and I also don't know if the Nemesis can spawn just anywhere. Actually, let me Alt-Tab and check on this. So, Nemesis boss spawn's been overhauled. Nemesis bosses now appear randomly nearby when you slaughter monsters of their faction that grant XP and or infamy, with more progress granted in challenge arenas. Nemesis bosses no longer have fixed spawn point. Each Nemesis can still only spawn once per second. Now, I'm not sure if that means you can now spawn them anywhere that has that type of monster. That's kind of how I read it, but that's not what's written, so, you know, grain of salt and all that. There's a couple of beasts here, obviously. But he's not coming out to play, so let's try something else. Broken Hills has a lot of beast-type enemies. Also, I could go to Pine Barrens and see if he spawns there. I don't know, at this point, if the Beast Nemesis can spawn here, because Kuba previously was restricted to Ashes of Malmoth type areas. And I haven't seen any of the Nemesis that I have had spawn since 1.2.1. They've all been in areas where they traditionally spawn, so I'm just going to kill a bunch of these. And we'll just see if killing heaps of beasts is enough to get Kuba to spawn out here. I don't actually know if you can spawn him out here, but I guess we're going to find out for science or some such. And if he does spawn out here, we'll hear the big bong, and it'll be a whole thing. It's going to be fun. Like I said, there's a lot of beast types out here. Beastkin, I'm not sure if this counts, but hey, we'll kill him anyway. More loot, more better. Lutra, Beastkin again. Where is the Savage Totems? Actually, you know what? Let's bounce over to Pine Barrens. Because Pine Barrens has a lot of beast-type monsters. All of the Manticores count as beasts. The Briar Thorns should also count. There's an ancient beast-type totem in here as well. Oh, these are Rift Spawn. Okay, so maybe these don't count. Do the Grobles count as beasts? Rift Spawn, Beastkin. Okay, Grobles look like they do count. Alright, so we're just going to kill a bunch of these. Beastkin. Do they count as beasts? I don't know. One thing I will say, though, is I can no longer use the... I used to get a couple of frame skips whenever a Nemesis would spawn. That doesn't work anymore because they spawn just at the edge of your screen, sort of thing. We'll see. Like I said, I don't actually know if we can get Kuba to spawn outside of Ash's areas. And the Reaper also... I guess I could just go and kill a bunch of the... the undead, not the undead, the... what are they called? Wendigos. There we go. Just go kill a bunch of Wendigos, that'd probably help. These guys definitely count as beasts because, well, they say they're beasts. Morgara's definitely a beast. What do we got? Oh, wow. Man, I wish I was playing a soldier. What is Redeemers? That looks like it's a lot of physical damage on that. Yeah. Watches, I never get a good one of those ever while playing a soldier. So these guys count as Rift Spawn. So I'm actually going to not do those. I am checking for the totem over here. There's another spot up here that I'll check as well. All of this is a fancy way of just getting XP while also playing with the new patch. Getting to level 84 is not a horrible idea. I am already getting level 94 item drops, so getting a couple more levels will just increase the chance of that happening, which would be quite useful for farming some more gear for this guy. I don't really want to do a full farming at 84, like, you know, replace this, which I do need to do, it's level 70. I need to replace this probably at level 84. I'd like to wait till 94, but maybe I have to go at 84. These are level 67. These are level 70. A lot of this stuff is, let's just say it's old. So a lot of my armor I need to replace. Let's see if you... I mean, they say they're Rift Spawn, but they do give, I'm pretty sure, Homestead reputation for killing beasts, so I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll just kill a few more of these, and we'll see if Kuba spawns. He's been... well, actually, all of them have been pretty reliably spawned within one kind of area that's full of those monster types. I was fixing up the skill points on my Kabbalist, so my Vitality Pet Kabbalist. I was fixing the skill points with him because he basically just gained 3 skill points for free, which was very nice. And I went for a run through the... what is it called? This one here, the Tomb of the Eldritch Sun. The actual... whoop, nearly dead. The actual tomb itself. And I cleared one whole level, walked downstairs, killed a handful of monsters, like maybe a room or two. And an old mate was there. Kaisan was there immediately. Right. Ancient Savage Totem. I definitely should be doing this. I'm trying to watch the big golem dudes for when they throw rocks at me. Hey, there we go. There's the noise. There's Kuba. Well, looks like we're fighting. Be gentle, Kuba. I've only got 1,000 or 10,000 hit points. Did hit 84 as well, so that's fun. Oh, that hurt. Whatever that was. When he dies, we're going to relocate over this way. And we're going to try and kill one at a time, and then we kill the little ones, and we get out of the bleeding straight away. Okay, I don't really want to kill the big one just yet. Potions on cooldown. Okay, small ones are dead. Let's get out of that. Just run around a little bit. Actually, I have triggered a lot of my death saves there. Let's see if we can't kill them in a hurry. I don't have a lot of health on this guy. I'm missing a lot of armor as well, but there we go. We've killed him. Okay, so Kuba confirmed can spawn outside of Ashes of Malmouth areas. Also, wherever you kill them, that's where the Nemesis Trove will pop into existence. And let's have a look at the loot. So we got Kuba's leg guards of Voidfire. Okay. Alchemist Belt, Crystallum, which is physical, or sorry, lightning savagery kind of weapon, which is nice. Let's go ahead and eat all of these blueprints actually while I'm waffling. The mythical ruby of arcane balance or of elemental balance, so we need to make some new rings. The mythical version is just same thing but better. That's not the blueprint I want. This one is. So the ruby here, yeah, like I said, same thing but better. So we need to make new rings. What else we got? Aldenar's Vanity. No. None of this stuff looks like something I'm going to actually use. These shoulders probably would be okay. Not great, but okay if I wasn't using those MI ones. So there you go. There's a Kuba kill. It was level 84. Also had the skill points from level 83, so I'm still going to be putting those into Mark of Torment. And I'm going to be dumping all of my additional skill points into Physique, because I need health. Okay, so with that said, let's go back to what I was waffling about at the start. I went and killed Janaxia another, I think it's 13 times here. There's a bunch of additional loot. I'm just going to mouse over these for those of you that like seeing the loot. And then we'll come down here to this one, Rune Carved of Alacrity. This is a level 82 base, or sorry, it's a level 74 base with level 82 affix on it. And this one is allegedly slightly better than my Glacial of Alacrity. I disagree, but that's what it says. Also got Rimefrost of Frostbite, which, again, is, well, this is a level 94 base, so this one should be better than a level, what do we got, 70, yeah, level 70 items, so those are actually considerably lower level, 24 levels, and this is only just better. I've got a Stalwart of Scorched Runes here, and I did get a double rare, or I guess a triple rare. Double rare MI, triple rare, whatever you want to call it. Runecasters of Shattering. Turns out it's pretty good. Not sure what's happening where I hold control and it changes there. So, hang on, did I turn that option back on? Is that what's going on here? No, I'm not sure. I think it just shows you it doesn't factor in the components or augments. Which I guess is good. So this is better, but this is also a level 94 base, same as the previous one that was better. So none of these are actually better. That's what I'm getting at. Okay, let's go do some crafting. I didn't expect actually to find that blueprint, but I'm kind of glad I did. Let's also vendor all this rubbish we picked up. I'm going to ditch all of these swords as well. I'm not using any of these. I do need to go and I really wish I could have got that on on my Force Wave Death Knight. But didn't, so it is what it is. Hang on to those for a sec. I think I have a pair of these in the bank, actually. But they're not bad. They're actually pretty decent. 5% physical resistance on boots is now a pretty big deal. Can I put those on? Resistances are balked except for bleeding. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here, And I'm going to not do that, actually, because we're making new rings. Let's go find out what we need to farm to get our new rings. I haven't checked for a little bit. Where are we? Mythical Ruby of Elemental Balance. Okay. Enchanted Flint is easy. Molten Skin is easy. Let's go Flint. Bingo Bango. And then we go Molten Bongo. I don't want to live in the Congo. Okay, Mythical... We need 2 Squalls. Which means I need 2 Dense Fuzz. 1, 2. And 1, 2. Okay. So, if we go to Mythical Ruby of Elemental Balance, 1 and 2. Now you might be asking, why are you making 2 of the same ring? And the answer is, because then I can go to Veteran, or Normal, actually doesn't matter, that checkbox was an extra click for no reason. And we can go back to Act 1, back to Devil's Crossing, and we can transmute whichever one of those rings was the worst of the 2. This one's got 3% armor on it. It's also got about the same amount of percentage cold damage. This one's got more offensive ability as well. Yep, we're going to transmute this one. So transmute over here. Set into part of another random set. No, we want to part of the same set. And this is just going to turn this into a sapphire. Boom. Now, I could go and flip this a few more times, try and get a better one. So, for example, I could go back to the ruby. This one's got a lot more offensive, a decent amount more frostburn, a little bit more cold damage, different resistances, but it's missing that 3% armor, so I'm going to keep the armor. And we'll just go back to this one. The Sapphire should just be a straight upgrade to the old Sapphire. We picked up some free resistance there, some more offensive ability, 1% attack speed. Yeah, that looks like it's pretty much a straight upgrade. So we've got this set here. I'm now going to go and get potentially Gazer Eyes. Although the bleeding resistance there is the only one that's not capped. Alright, let's do this the easy way. We'll just go back to Ultimate. And now I can actually see what my resistances are. Alright, let's chuck them on. There we go. Resistances are fine, except for bleeding, which means I can use cold damage augments. Now, do I have cold damage augments? Probably not great ones. Because I don't have Revered with a lot of factions. That's fine, I'll leave that for now. Let's see if I can make Blooded Crystals here. I need 7 more Silk Swatches. So, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my Silk Swatches done. So, Blooded Crystals are kind of end game, and I'm doing air quotes. You can't see it, but just trust me, I'm doing air quotes. These are end game components. They're going to use a lot of expensive crafting materials, and there we go. These ones, you don't want to throw these away. So when I take these off, I'm going to melt the rings to get these back, rather than the other way around. But the good thing about these, so I'm going to gain 80 defensive ability plus whatever percentages. I'm going to gain 150 flat armor in every single slot, so this armor value is going to go up probably somewhere around 2,200, because also have percent boosts from various places. This is going to be really good for armor, basically, is what I'm saying. And then we'll get 30% bleeding resistance, so we will actually be capped on that resistance as well. Yeah, so almost 2,200. All that flat armor gets added to every single slot, so this is actually 75 armor times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whatever that comes out to be, something like 450 armor, depending on where it gets applied, where you get hit. Also, probably worth looking at making a Mark of Mogdrogan at this point. I may not be able to afford it. What does Mark of Mogdrogan give that the Mark of the Traveler doesn't? So Traveler is 8% move speed and some slow resist. This one is going to be 10% movement speed, no slow resist, more regeneration, and also some percent health. Okay. Let's have a look here. Ward stones. I don't have enough Aether Crystals. We'll just use the Mark of the Traveler for now. Get some run speed. More would obviously be better, but we don't have more, so yeah, it is what it is. All that messing with resistances, and we now have access to the Death Whisper leggings as well. This is going to be a lot more armor, which I like. 5% chance to avoid melee attacks, I like. 50 offensive ability, I really like that. 2 to lethal assault, that's really good. Blade burst, there's just yes. Just yes. In terms of resistances, we are now close on fire. So I do still have both of my ring augments available, so if we need it, we can chuck on, where is it? This one here. We can chuck these on. No, we can't, those are pets. Yeah, there'll be some sort of way we can get some elemental resistance. We're still way up on cold here, so we could use the fire and lightning from Homestead, that'd be fine. That would be perfectly fine. Okay. Let's get my scaled hide back. I'm not going to use those pants ever again. Armor is now looking pretty good. I could, I think, swap the gloves out, which would be nice because I want the extra armor. Let's see what that does. That nukes bleeding resistance. Absolutely nukes it from orbit. How's Aether? Okay, I can get 45%. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm going to make that trade. Stonehide is definitely really good, but it's a massive crutch. Alright, give me that one back. I just want the attack speed. And it looks like we're going to be changing this one to... is it Basilisk Venom? Slith Venom. So we'll be chucking that on there, we'll be chucking that on there, and we'll be chucking that on there. All resistances capped. Again, we've got a bunch of armor. We've also picked up the Prismatic Shield for 10% physical resistance. That is a huge deal now. We've cut our physical resistance in half, in spite of adding an extra 5% here. We're still way down. So that physical resistance, which, granted, it's not going to be up very often, but it will be very useful. And the extra health as well is very welcome. Okay, that's probably as much as I'm going to do for... Oh dear. I should be able to do a straight swap on this, shouldn't I? Do I want to? 9% chance to avoid melee attacks is good. Phys-res is the same. Different resistances kind of don't matter. Stun duration, I don't care. Ice Nova instead of Blade Burst, yeah, I think I want to do that. I will hang on to these. Resistances are still fine. I'll just get another Scaled Hide. Do I have one already? Nope, I'm going to make one. Where are we? Scaled Hide, there we go. Chuck that on there. Okay, okay. Now we're cooking with gas or something. These are actually not as good as the other ones, so I'm just going to vendor those. Same with these boots. Harud's Frigid Grip. Could I swap those without messing my resistances? I can. Do I want to? Kind of. +2 to Shadow Dance is really good. Bone Harvest Amarastas is kind of okay. It's a lot more offensive ability. My defensive ability is kind of okay. Just ignore those percentages. This is against a Nemesis boss. Yeah. I think I'll use the runic braces. The extra armor is really nice. I'm going to keep those though. Keep those in my pile of stuff that I'm totally going to use one day, I promise. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let me get those 2 Vengeful Spirits back. I may use those later, and it would be nice to have them. Salvage, keep the add-on. Keep the add-on, okay. So we've upgraded both of our rings, we've upgraded gloves, we've upgraded boots, we've upgraded pants. We're a new man, sort of. We still have to upgrade shoulders and belt. And maybe helmet. Helmet's probably fine. Shoulders, belt. Honestly, it's probably fine. You don't need any of the resistances from that. That is incredibly surprising. How about that? If I take that off, and I also take that off. Bleeding. Yeah, I would need 12% bleeding between these 2 items to upgrade them. Okay, that's fine. Right, where are we up to in Ultimate? Find Barrowholm. Yeah. I think I'm going to just push forward. I think the armor values here are not too bad. Helmet's a little bit low. Chest I could do with getting more on, but yeah, I think we're good. I did say we were going to start Forgotten Gods this episode, but then the patch dropped, and I just spent 40 minutes messing around with gear and waffling about the patch. So I think we'll push a little further into Ashes for now. Push into the Ugdenbog, and then we'll start Forgotten Gods next episode, I think. So I've been doing this run a lot. I just run out there, I kill Janaxia, I look at the weapon, I'm disappointed that it's not very good, and then I repeated it again and again and again. Don't recommend it, just for the record. But hey, let's just do it again anyway. Do remember, if you're doing this run, come down here and hit this. You definitely do want to get that. Alright, there we go. So, Ugdenblooms, these bloodied crystals, if you can get them, are really, really good. But they do require 8 Ugdenblooms each. And then a bunch of silk swatches, which honestly shouldn't be an issue. Master's Bound Wraith. I was looking for one of those for so long. No, I wasn't. I was looking for a Bound Wraith of Binding, I think it was, for my Ritualist for the longest time. I think I ended up going with a Briarthorn book instead. Alright, let's kill Janaxia, and then we are going to push through to Barrowholm. I'm still not sure if siding with Barrowholm in Ultimate will allow me to farm these items in Normal. I don't know, so I'm not going to side with them. We're just going to get to level 94 and then go farm the items. And then we'll come back. I do want to fight the Ravager with this character, or at least I want the option to fight the Ravager, which means I have to side with Barrowholm in Ultimate. Also means I'm going to have to grind a whole bunch of reputation, but that should be doable. Alright, let's head north. Also, how are we doing for other reputations? Revered, honored, revered. Well, that's respected, sorry. Yeah, a lot of this stuff... Hang on, did I say revered up here? Oh, Coven's revered. Oh, cool. So at level 90 we'll have access to some more augments. I think it's level 90 for augments from the Coven. Alright, the great thing about how the Nemesis work now is I can kill as many beasts as I want, and Kuba will never show up, because I've already killed him. The downside, of course, is if I keep killing the Ugden, the Wendigo type peoples, I might just have a Reaper come running from off the edge of the screen at me. Which could be bad, depending on what else is going on at the time. Let's go ahead and pop these ghosts here. Mark of Torment, the big crab. turn the loot off so I can see what's going on. I am standing in Aether Goop, which is really, really not good. But hey, we got loot. We got Harud's Frigid Grass. We got the Stone Plate Belt, which is pretty good. Hey, speaking of Bound Wraiths of Binding, look at all that skeleton. +6 to raise skeletons. Man, imagine if Wraithbound also had that on or something like that. Right, which one of these two is better? Which one am I keeping? These ones. Alright, we can just push through here. Do I want to fight Craval? I think the answer is no. The answer is definitely no. Let's not risk it. There is no biscuit to risk it for, so let's not go mess with him. I think we could kill him, although he is a cold sort of boss, so he may be very resistant to our damage. Yeah, I think we just we stay away from him for now. Don't forget, again, Ugdenblooms where you can. Okay, should be coming up on the Rift Gate. Good. Just keep pushing north, basically, until you find the Rift Gate. Okay, everybody dead here? I think everyone's dead. Let's get out of all that vitality rubbish. This is kind of the reason I came up this way. Unfortunately, it's decided it doesn't want to have an Ugdenbloom in it today. So I get nothing, which is always fun. Here is my Rift Gate. You can also head down this way. I think there's another Ugdenbloom, or another Rotting Stump, rather, down here. They did also change where Barrowholm spawns. I think he has a set spawn now. Don't quote me on that, I'm going from memory here, but I think he has a set spawn. There's also this little hidden area, which may be where his set spawn is. Yeah, there it is. There he is this time. I don't actually know that this is a set spawn now. I think it is, but I don't know for sure. I think a little bit low. These trees hit really hard, even just the regular ones. Do a lot of physical damage in one hit. So I don't love them. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't love them. On the bright side, the plants don't sunder you anymore, which is nice. Alright, what do we get? We got the Touch of Purity, which... I mean, it exists. Yep, we're definitely not using that. Okay, let's just rift back to the Ugdenbog Rift, and we'll keep pushing forward here. Like I said, when I get to Barrowholm, I'm going to turn around and stop. Depending on how much time there is left in the episode, we might go and do a little bit of farming. But I am not going to be siding with or against Barrowholm today. I'll have to kind of figure out or ask someone who knows what happens if I side with Barrowholm. If you know, chuck this in the comments. If I side with Barrowholm, do I actually retain the ability to farm the Reaper in normal? Farm Namadeo, which is honestly less important. I want the Reaper's pants a lot more than I want Namadea's hat. So if you know, siding with them in Ultimate, does that allow me to continue farming them in normal? Yes or no? And that'll be something that'll be good to get an answer for. I might just... I don't want to do character rollback, so that's the thing. Like, I have the option, I can copy the save file, go inside with them, check what happens in normal, and then roll the character back. But I really hate doing that. I only do that in the case of, like, a crash or if I'm, you know, record an hour worth of gameplay with no sound. I'll probably do that, but it feels too much like cheating to me. I really don't want to cheat. So if anyone knows the answer, let me know, please. And otherwise, I might just wing it and deal with the consequences. A nice little double rare there. We'll sell for a few shekels. Oops, you're supposed to be dead. Alright, so this is one of my least favorite areas in the game. It's actually not too bad. There's just a couple things in here that I absolutely hate. One of which is, well, the main one, I guess, is the plants. Specifically these ones that whack you. Because the game doesn't recognize that there's something there, and so your character will just try forever to walk through it, instead of going around. It's a very minor thing, but it's enough for me to say that I hate this place. This one right here is usually pretty bad for it. Because it's a little ways out here, you can sometimes like glitch through it. Sometimes you can just walk straight through that gap. But a lot of the times I'll just be walking here and I'll get stuck and the character will just stand there and vibrate as it tries to walk through a space that's too small for it. So that one in particular, and there's another spot a little bit ahead where you also get the same issue, and it's just, I can't stand it. Alright, there's the Reaper. We got the noise again. We got the Reaper. I don't know what I killed that annoyed him. Plants, Eldritch. None of this looks like it's cannibals or anything like that. But let's clear the area. Clear the arena for our fight. Whoop, we're going now. Wait. Kuba? Kubacabra. Oh, I've exited the game, haven't I? Okay, yeah. Ooh, that tickles. Can I kill this thing? I mean, maybe. He is slowly going down, I guess, but... It's very slow. So, Chupacabra is highly resistant to cold and vitality damage, and wouldn't you just know it? What type of damage does this character do? Well, it's mostly cold, but also some vitality. Okay, I'm going to kill one of them again, or at least I'm going to try to. He seems to be healing rather nicely. I think I can... Let's actually make use of all of our ability to shred resistances, shall we? Let's get the whirly boys out. I think I'm killing the smaller one here. Kind of lost track there for a second. Alright, one's down. Two little ones are down. Yeah, we'll beat this guy down. And then we've got these last two to kill here. Okay, that one counted as him being officially dead. Now, he's dropped a warrant, which is basically a merit for negative. This increases your infamy gain, and you can put it in the stash to give to a new character. We're just going to leave it on the floor. Rotgeist Mask, is that level 94 set? It is, okay. Never going to make it, but hey, why not? Rampage Chupacabra's Leg Guards of Psyche. Okay, I'm not using these, obviously. Less armor, less cold damage. The resistances on these are kind of good. The of Psyche is 106 spirit, which is actually a very big deal. And also we have the Nemesis Trove, which we'll go ahead and pop here. We've got a whole bunch of stuff that is not very good for us. So we've got Bleeding Gloves, we've got a Fire Gun, and we've got the Mythical Alder's Inquisition, which is not horrible aside from the fact that it's a gun. And like I said, I'm going to leave that on the floor. There we go, that was a bit of a saga. I guess it makes sense now. I was killing beasts, I was not killing... I was not killing the Reaper stuff. Okay, Malediction Blueprint, we'll take it so it can't spawn again. Speaking of, let's go ahead and eat it so it can't spawn again too. This plant is the other one that I was whinging about earlier. This one seems like you can walk through it this time. A lot of the times you won't be able to walk through that. It just kind of depends on where it spawns. There's also a way you can kind of shove it out of the way somehow. I've moved these a couple times in the past, and I'm not sure how, but you definitely can. Also, loot in the walls here, which is always good to grab. There was some rare items on the ground there. I've obviously not picking them up. These are the boots that I was going to wear until those Golem-born Greaves dropped. Yeah, I'm not going to wear those anymore. Alright, Silvaria. So we've got a whole bunch of poison damage, got a whole bunch of the large physical damage type attacks coming from the Moss Flingers here, so I'm actually going to kill these guys off first. Although it appears that it's not such a big deal, and we're just going to kill it. Okay, Mythical Mage Lord Greaves, which... okay, Blackwatch Seal. And we're getting some rings, which... I mean, we're not going to use them. We've got the Elemental Balance set, which is really, really good. Main hand damage on that swirly thing means we actually get some lifesteal from that, which is not something that I think about very often, but it is very welcome. Defensive ability. See, now that we don't have this showing for a nemesis, we actually avoid 32.3%. So a third of all attacks against me are avoided. And then also because of this, another 28% are also avoided. So we actually decently tanky in spite of not being particularly tanky, if that makes sense. Also, when you find the cave there, it's actually faster to just rift out to the Ugdenbog rift and run back. If you find it further up, it can be considerably less efficient to do that. But I hate that area, so I'm happy to rift out any chance I can. We don't... Okay, we've had Kubicabra. Now, I just have to remember not to reset it, because I don't want to fight him again. He has way too much health for this level. Also, there was a few close calls there. Didn't seem like it, but there was a couple of times when my health got quite low, or, you know, down to sort of just below half. And that's kind of the range you don't want to be in, because one big hit and now you're dead. If your undergrowth wasn't here, what you can do is just hug this right wall, and you'll end up over here. You'll end up here because you'll kind of come up this way. And then you just continue hugging this wall. Continue hugging, continue hugging. There's one, I want to say it's here, but it's somewhere around here. There's another one. And if you just keep hugging the wall, eventually you will actually find it. Somewhere along this edge. There is one place that it can spawn that is not along this edge, or the one that I just found, and that's just south of the Barrowholm Rift, which I'll point out when I get there. Also, we're going to start running into cannibals here, so we could get a Reaper spawn, which would be great. I'd love to get a Reaper spawn right now. Don't need the Devotion Shrine in here. Kind of don't need the quest in there, actually. I'm just going to skip that one this time. Okay, still no Reapers. Chest Trap isn't here either. It's unfortunate. Guess we have to go rescue the witches too, so we'll go do that. Venom Gaze Bile is part of a quest that I will be doing for the Coven. Mostly for XP, honestly, and I probably should go back and do that one just for XP as well. But, yeah, no, I definitely should go back and do that. That's fine. This little stump right here, this is the one that I was talking about. If you head directly north from here, you will indeed end up at the Barrowholm Rift. So let's just drop a rift here. And I'll run up here, grab the Barrowholm, and then we'll come back. Alright. Actually, Am I going to find Scorv here, or am I going to find a whole bunch of turned cannibals and such in Barrowholm? Do we get people? We get people. Okay. Alright, that's no good. So anyway, the other... Hug the right side. Otherwise go here. Let's head back to do the Ugdal quest. And also I need to rescue the witches, which may end up getting me a Reaper spawn. That'd be fun. Let's go do Ugdal first. And then we'll come back for the witches. The witches are going to be kind of here-ish. So we'll go rescue them as well. Ugdal, I will need a Wendigo Spirit for, which I don't have on me, so let's just bounce back to the Coven real fast. Okay, we'll vendor all this stuff as well. There we go. Alright. Wendigo Spirit. One of. So now we can go and rescue Ugdal. We could just kill him. If we were to kill him, I believe we lose reputation with the Coven. And I am revered, so I'd kind of rather not do that. It's not going to be the end of the world. You know what? Give me the loot. Voidmancer's crown, sure, or a cord rather. Lovely. Ooh, hello. I normally see these guys in here. It's usually undead. I guess they are undead. Derp, never mind. Reputation with rovers because they are undead. Alright, and here's Ugdal. Now, are you trapped? I have a Wendigo Spirit. RIP Ugdal. Get some XP, Ethereal Missive, some reputation I don't need, and a little bit of loot without having to fight for it. Which I guess is good. Alright, let's just speed this up a bit to get out of here. I'm going to go rescue the other witches. I do need to get an Ancient Heart, and I want to test something with regards to that, so I think we should have enough time. I'm going to just run through Barrowholm, talk to nobody, say nothing, and there's an... what are they called? An Ancient that I want to kill. Or a Alpha. That's what they are, the Alphas. I want to kill one of them as well. Alright, we don't need to be here. Let's just go straight to Barrowholm. We're gonna walk through it like we own the place, because let's be honest, I probably do. If I wanted to. I'm pretty sure this character is strong enough to kill everything here except the Ravager. Which, yeah, they can't summon it just now, so... I think I could own this place if I wanted to. Alright, let's go over this way. Where are we? Where's the exit off to the side here? Here it is. Now, someone was saying that there is a Leafmane Alpha over this way that has a 100% chance of dropping the horn that I need. So I'm going to test that. There's a couple of alphas here, they might just drop it anyway. Turns out they did not. I forget who it was that said that, so thank you, whoever it was. If you know it was yourself, go ahead and chuck a comment down below and everybody can say thank you. Or at least I will. But this one right here. Hey, how about that? At least this time, definitely worked. Let's go for a quick run through this little section here. There's a lot of these wretches. There's a lot of the turned, there's a lot of Wendigos in this area. And I want to see if I can't get the Reaper to spawn. Now, this may be a bad idea. This may be a very bad idea, because I haven't fought the Reaper on Ultimate. Now, he was a bit of a pushover in normal, But on Ultimate, I haven't fought him yet. So we'll see how we go here. If I just clear this area out, there's probably, I'd give it even odds. 50-50 as to whether I get the Reaper to show up or not. Let's just double check. I am still Nemesis with Barrowholm. Yeah, I am. Okay. So I'm thinking it's about 50-50 as to whether we get the Reaper to show up here. This will probably help, depending on what it spawns. Yep, this is going to be good. Let's turn the loot off so I can see what's going on. Maybe get out of whatever goop's over there. Run back into it for some reason. Not sure why. We got bladed plating, which is okay. We got a bunch of other stuff. Actually, none of this is super useful. Bladed plating. I've never actually used this. Even on a retaliation build, I don't think I've used it. So that's not to say it's bad. It's just generally you have better options most of the time. I'm noting a distinct lack of Reaper. So I know I said, 50-50 odds. That was kind of just a number I made up.
I can't do that
yet. But if I could get a Reaper spawn, that'd be great. Would it help if I said please and thank you? I don't know that it's going to happen, but kill a few more of these. There's a few more sort of northwest up here. So we'll go poke the, I was going to say poke the bear, but poke the Wendigo.
That skill's not ready.
So there's a few more up here, as well as a whole bunch of undead. So maybe we can still get a spawn. We'll have to wait and see, honestly. I would like to kill the Reaper. But there may not be enough stuff here to spawn him. It's not looking good. It's definitely not looking good. There's a few more groups here. I think we still have a chance. There's still a chance. Aldra? Enemy hero dead? Seal of corruption, okay. No, we're not using that. A bunch of people did point out in the previous video as well, where I was confused about the Seal of the Night not being as good. They're pointing out that it's better for offensive ability, the Seal of Night, which is very true. But that otherwise the Cold Stone is better. Purging Touch, Lightning Aether, don't care. Okay, there are a few more Wendigo types down this way. Also, can I just go in the basement here? I'm assuming I can't since these are all people again. But can I just walk in here? No. Some unsettling sounds from the basement. Yep. That's one way to put it. Alright, we're just going to walk through someone's house here. And break the door. Head out the front. I'm going to head down this way. We're going to kill some more Wendigos. This is basically just to get the Reaper to spawn if I can. If I can. We will have to see if there's enough stuff out here that he gets annoyed enough to spawn. It may also be that he doesn't spawn until after you pick a side. I'm not sure about that. But we're going to do our best to murder everything and get him to spawn. Alright. These guys are obviously not going to do it. These are beasts. And Kuba's already dead, so we can't double spawn Kubacabra, unfortunately. It would be nice if you could get multiple spawns. Okay, older Emberclaw. Court of Violent Decay. Alright, we got some more turnt over here. Oh, they're all dead. Still no Reaper. There's a few more down here. We'll go kill those, and hopefully get to fight the Reaper. I definitely need some new pants, but there's a pretty good chance by the looks of it that I'm not going to get them. At least not here. Whole bunch of leaf mains that I don't really care about. All of the crabs and such, don't care about them. Here we go. Wendigo flayers, that's what I want to see. Alright, come on boys, give me the big one. I want the big boy. Give me the Reaper. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm running out of stuff to kill. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? Okay, well, it is what it is. I think I've killed... Oh, no, maybe there's a couple more up here, perhaps. Nope. It may be that you actually have to pick a side before you can spawn it, or it's possible I've just been unlucky and he hasn't decided he wants to come out and play. I guess I could go back to the Gloomwald and kill a few there. Let's see if killing the Wendigos here will do it. I definitely have Nemesis status. I checked that. It's definitely there. Here they come. Alright, there's definitely a few through here. Also, I enjoy this run just for the loot. This needs to die particularly. I don't have any dynamite, do I? Let's go fix that. I definitely need to have some dynamite, otherwise it's... I mean, there's going to be 2 treasure troves on this run. I definitely want to blow them both up, so we'll go get some dynamite here. I have so much scrap metal, mate, you have no idea. There we go, 9 will do us. Alright, back to where we were. Now remember, the objective here is not totems and treasure troves, the objective is to get the Reaper. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's the objective. So we don't need to kill the plants, we don't need to kill the crabs. Definitely do need to kill any of the cult members in the area. If we can kill, say, Aqua, or who is this? Poweros. Yeah, we'll kill Poweros, sure. I don't know if these cannibal cult members, I'm not sure if they count for spawning the Reaper, but I'll definitely kill a whole bunch of them. Give it a red hot go. Seal of Destruction? What's that one? Is that the fire? Seal of Destruction, Stormfire, yeah. Okay. Well, we're not actually using that, so that's fine. So we got a whole bunch of these guys. There's level 85. Now, I've got +2 to Mark of Torment from pants, I think? Boots? Gloves. Somewhere. Yeah, gloves. So that's actually only 3% damage absorbed. So I'm actually going to not do that. And instead, I'm going to put points into Necrotic Edge now. Once Necrotic Edge is hard capped, I will go and put them into the other one, the Execution. And once that's hard capped, well, this is going to be fun. Turn the loot off. I don't think we have Nemesis with the Undead, which is good. Alright, who's left? This guy, Necrolask, he's got to go. Alright, easy, done. Sigil of the Bear King, the Blazing Ruby, it's another one of those ones I don't really use very often. That's a lot of extra health. That's a little bit more defensive ability. Slightly worse resistances on some of that, so probably not worth the effort to swap it over. We're going to go and kill a few more these idiots. I'm noticing a distinct lack, a very distinct lack of Reaper spawn. I'm kind of leaning towards have to choose a side for him to spawn, but I don't know if that's true. Definitely seems like it's a possibility though. Alright, Avarice is here, so we'll just kill off all of her friends so no one's here to heal her. Avarice is getting healed? Oh, I think I killed her friend by accident. That's fine. Alright, there's my treasure trove, which I definitely want to get my hands on. And I'm seriously starting to think this is a case of no nemesis until you pick the side. Which is fine, I guess. But, you know, better drops in ultimate. It would be nice to be able to spawn him without having to pick a side. There's a few more to kill here. There's one more area I want to try, but after that I'll just give up. Yeah, we've definitely killed enough of these things that I think if it was going to spawn it would have. It's alright, we'll keep beating on things. If nothing else, it's all good XP. And hey, treasure troves and totems and all that fun stuff. Nocturnus and Gore Feast. Okay, okay. Also, the other good thing about doing all of these treasure troves and totems and such is that I do want the Nemesis Relic. And the way you get that is, well, as a random drop. And totems and treasure troves and such are a good way of getting relic blueprints. So, more of those, more better. Yeah, this is crazy how many of these things I've killed to not see the Nemesis. I'm just going to go ahead and chalk it up to you have to pick a side. Certainly seems like that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually not sure. But there's something weird going on. There's no way he hasn't spawned yet. I'm going to do this cellar and this totem, and then I'm going to call that the end of the episode, and I'll go back to normal and kill him. And we won't pick a side. Okay, here we go. We got a bunch of these Wendigos here as well. So if this doesn't do it... Yeah, I don't think anything will. Okay, Pouncing Manticore and the Pack of Deadly Means. Pack of Deadly Means, from memory, is +1 Nightblade. It's not, but it is some pretty good Nightblade stuff. Pouncing Manticore, kind of, who cares. Alright, we're gonna do this. There should be... No, I've already done the totem, haven't I? There's a bunch of Wendigos in here, so... I mean, maybe I get lucky. Seems kind of unlikely at this point, but... You never know. I'm also thinking that the human type, so this guy here... I mean, he's a cannibal. Ugdenbog cannibal. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm just going to chalk it up to not picking a side yet, and say that's what it is. I have no idea, but I can't really think of any other reason why it wouldn't have spawned by now. They don't take that long. But, like I said, I am going to call this the end of the episode here, so I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.